Hi, I'm Ryan and I'm going to be talking about the question mark in this video, which looks like that. Now the question mark is used to mark a question, as the name suggests. And question sentences are typically marked by questioning words such as how, when, who, why, those sorts of words. So they're the dead giveaways. And you need to mark the end of that sentence with a question. So, how is the weather today? You can see that's a question there, and we need to mark it so that people know it can be answered. And that's an important thing with the question mark. There should be a possible answer to it. If there's not a possible answer, even if they don't want an answer, then you probably shouldn't be using the question mark here. Now, when it comes to rhetorical questions, we do still need a question mark. Rhetorical questions, by the way, are questions where people ask a question but don't actually want an answer. So, I look fabulous today, don't I? Now, I don't actually want you to agree or disagree with that. I'm asking a question, but I'm using it as a statement. That still gets marked as with a question mark, even though we don't need an answer. Now, the interesting thing about rhetorical questions is that there actually exists a question mark specifically for rhetorical questions. It was used briefly at one point and was proposed as a proper punctuation mark, but has never really been adopted into the English language. And it looks like this. You can see it looks pretty different. It still has a semblance of the question mark, but it clearly marks it as rhetorical. So this was an interesting thing, but for some reason we never picked up on it. One way the question mark can get tricky is in Australian English, we have a horrible habit of using questions as statements. So we say things like, how hot is it today? Now that's a question. We've got how, and we may even write it with a question mark, but we're not actually using it as a question. We're not even using it as a rhetorical question. What we mean by that is, it's so hot today. So the problem is that with the way we speak, it can sometimes be confusing as to whether or not we use a question mark. So just in your academic writing, make sure you use the questions nice and simply, and even rhetorical questions have a question mark. So in conclusion, you use a question mark for questions typically marked by their questioning words, even in rhetorical instances. That's all for this video. You can check out our other punctuation videos around the website.